Hey guys, I haven't done a video in a while. I haven't had anything really to do a video about. But I went to school and I got some frog stuff. This is something I hadn't even gotten to open yet. Y'all get to watch me open it. And I wanted to show y'all this video. Just funny to watch a video with a video. I don't know how well it'll work. About spring peepers, which is what I can hear at my house. So I'm going to turn the camera around. So hopefully you can see the computer. I'll make this go a little lower. And see if you can see this guy. And turn him on and see if you can hear it. Alright.
Hi guys, I'm Chris Ignato and you're watching my YouTube. Thanks a lot for that. Now, it's April, kind of early April, and in the background you can hear some spring peepers, one of the first sounds of spring. These guys and the wood frogs are the first to come out. These guys actually produce a glucose in their bodies that basically allows them to freeze, so they can stay above the frost line. They can hit these vernal pools before pretty much the green frogs and bullfrogs and most of the other frogs can. That gives them a head start on the breeding and on the feeding. They can lay their eggs in the water, and they have plenty of time before it dries up for their tadpoles to metamorphosize. There they go. Let's go find one. These guys are pretty cool. One of my favorite herps of spring. So let's go find them. They're pretty small. They're a little tricky to find. These guys are like an inch long. So let's go. There we go. Little spring peeper. Now the reason why these guys call out so loud is they're really small, and the foliage and vegetation in which they hide is usually pretty dense. And as you can tell, there's a lot of them, so you really want to be able to pick out your individual, in case you're attracted to them.
See his little throat? Not funny? I've never actually seen one.
There's one right now. You can see how they got their name. That loud creeping sound. Now, I recorded one of these guys with a decimeter, and it was 88 decimeters, okay? Or 88 decibels. Very loud guys. So, there's that characteristic somewhat X on their back. That's a great way to identify them if they're actually not calling out. These guys are pretty small. This is obviously a male. The males call out to pretty much attract the females so that they can breed. And they lay a whole bunch of individual eggs and attach it to the debris in the water. In their vernal pools. They like vernal pools because there's no fish in them, because the fish will pretty much eat all their eggs. There's another one. Now you can almost see that X on their back. They almost always have an X mark. Sometimes they're tan, sometimes they're brown, sometimes they're pink, sometimes they're orange. And they usually have somewhat of an X mark on their back.
Okay. Back to me again. So there's a little bit about spring peepers. Aren't they fun? They're yelling in my backyard every night. They're still yelling in my backyard every night. Okay. So this is not a model of a peeper. I'm going to make y'all taller now. But just a frog. Right. So I'm going to open it up so you can see the life cycle of a frog. All right. So apparently, whoops, the spring peepers lay individual eggs, which is interesting because most frogs lay a clump of eggs. So this is a plastic model of a clump of eggs. There's John going in and out. See the little black things inside? If you've ever seen frog eggs, that's what the little baby frogs look like before they hatch. And so they look like little dots. All right, I'm going to put them on my white paper there so you can see. All right, so there are my eggs. So next I have, after the eggs hatch, of course these are not the right size because the tadpoles that would hatch out of those tiny little dots would be about the size of the tiny little dots. But this tadpole is big, so you can see it better. All right, so there's a little tadpole. He's got some little leg nubbins. Can you see his little leg nubbins? But mostly he looks like a little round guy with a long tail. There's my tadpole, bigger than normal tadpole. Hey, Jenny. Okay, next in our little model is a tadpole with legs. So he grows his back legs first. Isn't he funny looking? His little back legs. Whoops. So these are plastic. They're not real. And then the next thing that happens in its metamorphosis, which is a long word to say how its body changes, is he becomes a little frog with a leftover tail. So now he's lost his gills. He has to breathe air, but he's still got a little leftover tail. And then finally, at the end, turns into a little frog. This is a little big for a spring peeper, and as you heard, the spring peepers are brown or gray, but we could pretend he was a spring peeper. So that's the life cycle. So the grown-up mama lays the eggs, and the male fertilizes the eggs. Then they hatch into a tadpole, and then they become a tadpole with legs, and then they become a little froglet that's losing his tail. He's reabsorbing his tail, and then he turns into a frog, and it all starts over again. That's why they call it a life cycle, because it goes around and around and around, right? Frog lays eggs, turns into a frog that lays eggs or fertilizes eggs. Okay, so do you remember this from school? This is our frog puzzle, which is hard to get the pieces out because some of the pegs have fallen off. Parts of a frog are not so weird. There aren't any weird names. They just have front legs and a head with eyes. And a body. There's this skeleton in this puzzle. And then they have back legs. Long, strong back legs that help them jump. So, here's our parts of a frog. So, now you know what I've been doing at night as I go to sleep. I listen to my spring peepers peeping. Miss you guys.